Shalom, everybody. Insights in the Parsha of the week, Parshat Yitro, which is basically Kabbalat Torah, the receiving of the Torah at Har Sinai. So, in the Torah's explaining and portraying what happened, we see that Hashem orders Moshe Rabbeinu Hagbel et ha'am. He said to make like a fence, a borderline around the mountain, the Har Sinai, so that the Jews should not run up to the mountain. And Hashem tells them, Pen yehersu, lest they be mehares, which Rashi explains to destroy their present standing, which means when they would see the intense light of the revelation, the Jews would forget themselves and run right forward towards the light on the top of the Har Sinai. And so that the Jews should not disintegrate, because it was exposure at a high level. Hashem warned Moshe, you have to make a boundary. And then even though he made the boundary several days before Vav Sivan, the Kabbalat Torah, still right before the revelation, Hashem told Moshe again a second time, right? Red ha'ed el ha'am, go and rebuke or just again remind the Jews not to go up. And Moshe Rabbeinu said, but I told them already. He said, nevertheless, you have to always, when it comes right before doing something, you have to make mention of it a second time. So the Torah tells us a lot of this worry and precaution of the Jews not going up. So what would be so bad? What was so bad? So it's understood, it's explained that the Jews received the Torah on the 50th day from their leaving Egypt. The Jews left Egypt on the first morning of Pesach. From there, you count 50 days. That's Shavuot, the holiday of Shavuot, which commemorates the receiving of the Torah at Har Sinai 50 days later. The number 50 represents the 50th level of holiness, which in Judaism, we not when we consider we do for like 0 to 10, 1 to 10, 50 is like number 10, which means it's the highest level. The highest level. In our context, it refers to the Keter. Also on a simple level, the coronation of the Torah, to be crowned as the guiding light, and as Hashem being guided as the king for the Jewish people, became etched on Har Sinai on the 6th of Sivan. Okay? So the 50th day, the revelation of the Torah corresponds to an exposure of what's called the infinite light. The 50th level is referring to the gateway to the infinite light, which when connected to this level, if you're not in and out, you can disappear. So this is why Hashem warned Moshe to separate the Jews from going up, because they're going to see this light, they want to run up, and by running up, they'll disintegrate. What's funny is even though the Jews were pushed back, they didn't go up the mountain, still, like the Midrash says and the Gemara says, okay, that when they heard the first two commandments of Anochi Hashem velo yelecha, it says parach nishmatam, the soul of the Jewish people departed. They did die. They died. But afterwards, the souls were put back into the body. So this is what happened when the Jews didn't go up to the mountain. So just imagine if they did go up the mountain, that would never be possible. They would have been just disintegrated. So this, Rabbi Nachman uses this idea. This is an idea very common in Breslov teachings and Rabbi Nachman's teachings. And it's an idea that when a Jew is advancing in spirituality, he has to have the brakes put on. And it's understood that the person himself can't put on the brakes because he's so overwhelmed by the light of his journey. Okay? This exists a lot in Judaism. For example, they say before a person dies, and there's a fight between the soul and the body doesn't want to detach from the soul. Okay? So what does Hashem do? He shows the person, right before he passes away, the souls of his parents and his grandparents, and they indicate for him to come to be on their side, and he's so overwhelmed by emotion that the soul just departs from the body. In other words, it's something which is a stronger magnet, a stronger power of draw, that is able to accomplish in drawing out the neshama. So this concept is not just a death, but every time a Jew is going spiritually high, Okay? We're worried, heaven is worried, Shamayim is worried that the person will overdo it. Because too much light will just burn out a person. So Hashem purposely puts on stoppers. The stopper he put on, Rabbi Nachman explains, lesson 24, is called the Keter. The Keter is on one hand the highest of the Sfirot, of the hierarchy of the Sfirot. It's the number 10, and yet it's above the Sfirot. It's the gateway to the infinite light. It's in a sense the wall between the Creator, the Ma'atzil, and us, the creation, the Ne'etzalim. The Keter stands in between. And the Keter is used as like a boundary to bounce a person back when he's going too fast. Because again, a person is very easy to get carried away. Light is so powerful, especially light of holiness, light of Kedusha, light of Torah, light of people are very spiritual. Yeah, many people are spiritual and they don't know how to put on the brakes. Okay, so Hashem forces the brakes and a person has to be wise to know how to interpret it. The interpretation of the brake is I'm not ready yet for this. I have to wait back. And if I wait back, I will gain what I really want to reach. I'll gain even back here. I don't have to be there to gain it. I can be within myself, within my physical constrictions, and yet perceive this. And that's what Hashem wants. Hashem wants a person, on one hand, being a physical existence, a physical entity, yet being connected to the highest spiritual levels, as is best expressed in the Torah by Jacob, Yaakov Avinu in his dream. He saw the ladder, Jacob's ladder, Sulam Mutzav Arza V'Rosho Magia Hashemayim. That the person's like a ladder, where the ladder is fixed on the earth, but the head of the ladder reaches the top to the heaven. And every Jew has to be like that. On one hand, I'm physical, I eat, sleep, I drink, I go to work, I do stuff, okay, physicality, and yet I can be connected to the highest levels of Kedusha through mitzvot, through Torah, through Emunah, through the tzaddikim, okay? This is what Hashem wants. Hashem wants that we merge the two opposites together. But that can only happen if a person is bounced back. If a person runs to the light, he'll disappear, and becomes merged with it, he'll disappear. So Hashem wants you to experience light. That's why you have the yearning to push after. Like the wording of the Zohar is Redifa de machshava lemirdaf abatre. It's the tendency, it's the nature of the mind, of the thoughts to run after this light when exposed to it. And this is expressed in the Parsha, where Hashem told Moshe Rabbeinu, you have to put a barrier. Because without the barrier, they're going to forget themselves, and they're going to go right up. You need that wall, and you need to remind them, and this is how it is always in Judaism, always in life, is that there's a barrier put, and you have to respect it. If you don't respect it, you'll pay for it. Most people, or they don't accept the boundaries, and they keep on going forward. Nonetheless, they want that high, that spiritual high. I'll do whatever it takes, I just want that high. Yeah, but you're missing the point. Hashem is the same one who's giving you the light. He's the one pushing you back in order that you should build vessels in your physical existence to receive that light. That's what Hashem wants. No, I want that light. So you lost the point. Or the opposite. People get pushed back and they take it so wrong, so negative. It's not for me. The Torah is not for me. Chas v'shalom. Judaism is not for me. It's all just a joke. You get pushed back in life, yes. But the thing is, you get back up. Like I always tell people, breslov-therapy drink 7 up. 7 up. Sheva yipol tzaddik v'kam up. A tzaddik, it's a verse from Mishlei, Proverbs. A tzaddik falls 7 times and gets back up. 7 up. We get up. We keep on going. We get overwhelmed. We get pushed back. Yes, we can crash, we can fall. But the chidush is, we get back up. This week's Parsha, remember there's a light. And like Rashi says a few times in the Parsha, that a person has to view that as if every day he's received the Torah. It's not just past in history, we commemorate Shavuot to commemorate the receiving of the Torah on Sinai. Rashi says this week's Parsha, every day a Jew has to feel like he's receiving the Torah anew. Which means what? Number one, your attitude of learning Torah. You shouldn't be old, I'm going back to my daily Gemara schedule, Torah study schedule, my Daf Yomi, my Halach, and you feel dry. No, I have to feel vigor. Wow, it's so amazing learning Torah. That's one. But number two, just at Har Sinai also, there was extreme light and there were stoppers. So too, you have to remember every day that you're going to have that experience as light, and you have to know how to put on the brakes. Shabbat Shalom u'mevorach.